The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it.
What up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries. If this is your first time listening, welcome. We glad you found us, and we hope you stick around long enough to officially become family/cousins, right? Before we go any further, quick disclaimer. We are unapologetically us over here, right? We laugh, we joke, we talk our talk. This is not corporate true crime. No stiff voices, no boring delivery. We chilling like we, at a cookout. Real convo, real reactions, and real opinions. So if that's not your vibe, this may not be your table, man. Take your ass over there with the kids, right? Now, cousins, what's good? Got a quick question. How was y'all New Year? Everybody make it through in one piece? Did you reset? Know what I'm saying? Did you reset or lie to yourself and say, I'm starting next week? Let's be real with each other. And did you catch a cousin confession sneak peek? If you did, let us know what you thought, right? Because, yeah, that one already had folks talking, man. That's a good one, too, for the ones who missed it. You know what I'm saying? Your loss. Important question, though. Did you make your black eyed peas, right? Because our grandparents said if you don't, you're blocking your own blessings. And we're not doing that in 2026. Not over here. So also, if you notice something a little different this year, yeah, buddy, Tiffany didn't let me handle the intro sometimes. So if I act the fool, just respect it, right? I don't know how long this permission gonna last. So mind your business and let me get my moment, right? Can I shine? I appreciate it. But for real though, right? We appreciate all the love and support y'all continue to show the show. Like, I appreciate it, right? If you're enjoying Melanin Mysteries, please leave us a review wherever you're listening. It helps the podcast grow, right? And we try to get them ducats, just being real with you. And don't keep us a secret. Don't do that. Know what I'm saying? We not your side chick. Know what I'm saying? We not the side nigga. Know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Share the show with your cousins, your co-worker, your group chat, everybody, right? Now that we got that all out the way, let's get into today's case, right? We're starting a new year in Mississippi with the case of David, right? And Anteeatta, right? I said it right? Oh, yes, I did, right? Known as T.
No,
Swim.
you didn't. We just had a whole hooked on phonics lesson. No, you didn't.
You see this? I don't never interrupt her. I don't interrupt her. You see how she disrespect me? Anyway, we're starting the new year in Mississippi with the case of David and Anteeatta. Yes, it is. Known as T. Swims. Just one of those What? Do I interrupt you?
I gave you a whole...
Do I interrupt you? We not starting 2026 this type of way. All right.
Hooked on phonics.
I did it. I was following the bouncy ball. I don't know what happened. I think it hit the wrong letter. I don't know. All right. Anyway, this is one of those relationship cases where tension is loud, dude. The control is obvious. In some moments, we'll have you sitting there like, yeah, this giving Diary of a Male Black Woman energy, like real talk. Because at certain points, you might be picturing Helen tossing Charles in the bathtub. Y'all remember that, right? And honestly, you wouldn't be wrong, right? You would not be wrong. So let's get into it. I am your host, Willie.
Sweet Jesus, I'm Tiffany.
Let's get it.
Okay, so let me be clear. When this story starts, I had my shit together, degrees on degrees, and I was on my way to my doctorate. Not dreaming about it, not one day, baby, I was in it. And me and David, we were not new. We had been married for over 10 years. So Don't confuse loyalty with stupidity. I stayed, I loved, I held vows down. I took cheating, I took outside babies, and I took embarrassment. And here's where I get mad all over again, because how you in a wheelchair and still finding the audacity to cheat like you are the prize? Like, sir, you can't walk, but the lies sure do. And at some point, I had to ask myself, why am I leveling up, expanding my mind, heading toward a doctorate while you still can't keep your paraplegic penis in your pants? Why am I doing the work emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and you doing the bare minimum with maximum disrespect?
Hold on. I'm
And then it
sorry. And
clicked.
I do not mean it. I don't mean to be rude and interrupt you, but did you say paraplegic penis?
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay, proceed. I apologize.
Because I don't have to take this. I am educated. I am accomplished. I am married, but I am not blind. And I am not obligated to suffer in silence because I've been loyal. Because listen, this was really starting to feel like Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Like Helen had way more patience than me because once you keep playing in my face, baby, I understood why she almost drowned Charles in that bathtub. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted some peace. And choosing myself wasn't dramatic, it was overdue. And the moment I decided I was done shrinking, done excusing, done carrying somebody who kept disrespecting me, that's where my story actually ended.
Mm.
Okay, so Anteeatta Rachel Archie, known to everybody as T, was born on November 18th, 1985 in Mississippi, and she was raised by her mother, Elisa Archie, who's a teacher, and her father, Anatoly Archie. Her parents divorced when the girls were young, but T grew up in a household where education wasn't encouraged, it was enforced. T was the oldest child, 6 years older than her sister Shalonda, and from early on, she moved like she was the blueprint. So people who knew T described her the same way every time: energetic, smart, always smiling and full of life. Girl was a straight A student who stayed busy and stayed visible because she played basketball, softball. She was a cheerleader. She was the type of student who could balance academic and extracurricular activities without slipping. And in 2004, she graduated with honors from J.Z. George High School, already proving that she was built different. And after high school, T went on to the University of Mississippi, better known as Ole Miss. And in 2008, she earned her bachelor's degree in education. That alone would have been enough for most people, but T wasn't wired for just enough. She took that momentum straight to Delta State University, where she went on an academic run that didn't slow down. 2011, she earned her master's in elementary education. 2013, she completed her first educational specialist degree. Then in 2016, she earned a second education specialist degree, but this one was in administration. 3 advanced degrees, same woman, same. By April of 2021, T had just completed her coursework for her doctorate of education. She wasn't talking about it, she had done the work. She was officially on the doorstep of becoming doctor, just one final stretch away. And if that wasn't enough, T was also a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a reflection of her commitment to service, leadership, and sisterhood. Like, gosh, talk about Black girl magic. I'm loving it. And at the time of her death, T was working as a third grade teacher and serving as a lead instructional coach. So she was not just teaching kids how to read and write, she was mentoring other educators, shaping classrooms, and pouring into the next generation every single day. So when you hear the name Anteeatta T. Archie, understand this clearly. She was educated, accomplished, disciplined, and respected, and she had momentum. She had purpose. She had built a life that spoke for itself. And that matters because everything that comes next in this story happened to this woman.
That was good, man. Deserve an Oscar for that, man. I tilt my hat to you. All right, y'all. So now let's talk about David Swim. And I'm gonna be real with y'all up front. This part right here, pretty thin, right? It's thin, right? And I'm like some of y'all females' eyebrows, right? And not because we didn't look, right? But it just is what it is. David Swims is a junior, meaning that his father's name is also David Swims. His mother is Eva Ross. Birthday was December 30th, 1979. Outside of that, his background is real light. And honestly, that alone tells a story. He had two brothers, Jelena Swims and Boris Swims. From what we can tell, Boris was a Marine, and it appears he was killed in the line of duty. Now, that's important to note because that's a very real loss to the family, right? David also had children. He had a daughter named Hannah and a son named Jaquel, right? He had been married before, T. So that wasn't his first marriage or his first rodeo. Now here's where it gets interesting. According to T's mother, and I want y'all to catch this part. She was David's sixth grade teacher, and she did not have good things to say at all, right? She described him as a bad boy, said she didn't care for him back then, and she did not feel any different later. Damn. She described him as jealous, said he made her uncomfortable, and the energy followed him into adulthood, right? So David was known for being in the streets, in a club, always partying, always outside, the kind of man who liked attention and the movement, but not responsibility. And when we tried to look into his work history, yeah, that's when things got real quiet. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was like Tommy. He ain't got no job. We couldn't find anything solid about a steady job, no long-term career, no consistent employment trail. And I'm not saying he was selling dope, crack, or vibes, but I am saying the math just was not mathing. Facebook didn't clear it up. Public records didn't fill in the gaps, and nobody was out here praising his work ethic, right? So what was left was a man who always seemed to be around, always seemed to be outside, always seemed to be doing something, but never really building anything. And when you put that next to a woman like T, a doctorate bound educator, leader, stretcher, purposeful, yeah, the imbalance is already loud. And we haven't even got into the marriage yet. Pause. Why be the most educated women of this linking up with the stupidest, bummiest niggas?
Because we see the quote potential.
Nah, man, I'm tired of that shit. That's a cop out. You know what I'm saying? Come on, nigga. You gotta be smart enough to know it. No, know what I'm saying? Come on. She too educated. But it do be like that. It be the educated be messing with the bum ass nigga crying, talk about, I don't understand why this happening.
So they likely met somewhere around 2006. And from the jump, like we said, David was not what T was used to. Like, she was studious, structured, focused, a good girl who stayed in her books and minded her business. She was about her future. And David, on the other hand, he introduced her to, a different pace of life, being outside, being seen, experiencing things she hadn't prioritized because she was so locked in on school. And you know what? For real, she deserved it. She was young, she was educated, child free, and she was curious. So she, earned the right to live a little. So they got together, and for the most part, things seemed to be going well. And, she fully stepped into that relationship. She showed up, supported him, and was committed. And that don't never last. These type of stories. So in March of 2009, David was hit by a truck in a motorcycle accident. And they said the accident was like really severe, the kind where death was a very real possibility. Man almost lost his life. And when the dust settled, David was told he would be wheelchair bound for the rest of his life. And that moment could have really broken the relationship. But T said she was like, I'm going to stick by my man. And she was there every step of the way through the hospital stays, the recovery, the reality setting in. And instead of running, T actually doubled down. And she made a decision that a lot of women make. She told herself, he's down right now, but I'm going to stand by my man. Because for real, let's be honest. Us women, we love a building project. We do. We do.
And what were you building? I ain't trying to
build a nigga like we do. Like, I mean, it's
the nigga
sad,
ain't
but
got
we do.
Nigga, the foundation, his legs is shattered.
Just because he's in a wheelchair does not mean that he can't. Oh my God, we're not about to start there. But I mean, we do. Like, we always think we can fix a nigga. Like, I mean,
you can't. The nigga's paralyzed. You can't fix him. It's over. Like,
I'm not talking about his legs.
Okay, my bad.
What am I gonna do about my legs?
T believed that. She believed in him. She believed in the relationship, and she believed that her presence could help him rise. But not from that wheelchair.
Exactly. Oh, we are so much alike. I was like, this nigga is not rising from the wheelchair without assistance. Anyway, so let's talk about what happens after the accident, because this is where the dynamic really starts to shift, right? David's whole life changed overnight. Before the motorcycle accident, he was free to move how he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Do what he wanted, come and go as he pleased. After March 2009, that freedom was gone. He was confined to a wheelchair, dependent on help, and forced to sit with reality he never planned for, and to sit in the goddamn diaper. Just throwing it out there. And that meant
how do you know he had a diaper?
How would he not have a diaper? What did he shit on himself?
He can still go to the bathroom.
The nigga, if he's in a wheelchair, that means he's paralyzed from his waist down. The nigga ain't going to no bathroom. The nigga shitting on himself. What are you talking about?
Where did it say that at?
What you mean? It's common sense. If he in a wheelchair, he can't.
It's not common sense. It could just be that his legs didn't work. He could still use the restroom and his legs not work. So
I mean, he could use the restroom, but I just thought it was in control. My bad. I thought.
Now you just heard the man was a cheater. He was in a wheelchair, so obviously it worked. So he had to be able to pee.
We don't know about
Get
that.
it together. Put it together.
All I'm saying is, man, know what I'm saying? It's a possibility he in a diaper. Just throwing it out there, right? Anyway, know what I'm saying?
Have no diaper.
Okay, anyway, he was mad because he had to ask her for help. And that nigga wasn't feeling it. And let's be honest, for a lot of men, and I get this, especially men who already struggle with ego, that kind of dependency is a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? Having to rely on your woman to move, to function, to get you through the day. That messes with your pride. And according to what's been said, David didn't handle it too well. You got to think the nigga just really in a wheelchair ain't really doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So even if he got to go on the toilet, it's a possibility that she may have to, you know what I'm saying, help him on there and, you know what I'm saying, even wipe his ass. So, you know, that's a humbling experience. So it was described that he was frustrated, bitter, angry, emotions that make, you know, sense after something that life-shattering. But instead of processing that anger in a healthy way, he was taking it out on T, the same woman who was trying to help him survive. T wasn't just offering emotional support. She was doing everything. She was bathing him, right? Carrying him around the house, assisting him with basic daily tasks. This wasn't a girlfriend stopping by to check in. This was a full-time caregiver, very much giving diary of a male black woman energy, right? And through it all, T stayed. Hey, look, I respect that. You know the story about my father, so I respect that. Real talk. Now, remember, when David and T got together, he was allegedly separated from his ex-wife. After the accident, David and T moved in together, which is why T took on the role of caretaker so fully. She wasn't visiting, nigga. She was living it, right? So eventually, David finalized his divorce from his ex-wife, and once that divorce was complete, he proposed to T. They set up a wedding date for the winter of 2010. But here's the part that matters, right? T family didn't want her to marry him, right? They were not on board. They saw the imbalance, right? You know what I'm saying? They saw the weight she was carrying, like literally, because she had to carry the little nigga around like he was a toddler. And while all of this caregiving and sacrifice was happening, T showed up at her mama house one day holding a baby. Her mama asked the obvious question: who white baby is this? No, but yeah, she's like, nigga, who baby is this? Turns out it was David. While T was standing by him because the nigga couldn't stand up for herself, you know what I'm saying? She was helping him recover, holding the household together. David fathered a child outside of their relationship. This nigga is literally getting taken care of because your legs is flipping and flapping in the wind and you out there cheating. That's crazy. And guess what? T, she still stayed, right? Despite the warnings, the betrayal, despite the family concerns. And guess what? David and T were married on November 20th, 2010. By all accounts, it was a nice wedding. Beautiful even, right? What is wrong with women, bruh? You getting played by a nigga in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? The nigga can't even get out. He can't run out on you. The nigga can't stand up for himself. You know what I'm saying? The nigga can cheat. That you're still with him. Is it that bad out here? That's in 2010. Was it that? Is it that bad out here? That you get
shit. In 2010, my ass was getting cheated on too. And I still say, I mean, I don't have anything to say because shit. Yeah,
you get cheated on. You get cheated on by a handyman. That is crazy work, man.
In 2010, I was getting cheated on. In 2011, we had another baby. Sure did. So I can't really say too much.
Damn. So anyway, but the reality behind the scenes were very different. At this point, T was the only one working. She was paying the bill. She was holding the household down. She was carrying a relationship and carrying his handicap ass, financially, emotionally, and literally. And everybody who ever been in a situation where you're the only one keeping things afloat knows exactly how this story usually goes. And unfortunately, this one was no different. I'm tripping, man. Niggas is ignorant. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like this is one of them things where, like, us as men, we do some most ignorant shit. You got somebody that holding it down for your handicap ass. Nigga, know what I'm saying? Like, literally, she is bathing you, holding shit down for you in your ads. How the fuck do you find time to cheat?
Y'all always gonna find time to cheat, but
nigga, I'm just saying, what chick? Where is he picking up these hoes at? That's what I want to know. Where are you picking up these? Where are you going picking up a female? Know what I'm saying?
At the club? In the club?
Is the club wheelchair accessible? That's
I mean, you ain't ever been to the club and seen a nigga in a wheelchair? Well, I've seen it multiple times. Oh my God,
this
we went
nigga
out.
is in the
Look,
middle.
we went out one time. I'll never forget it. Deidre's homegirl was literally giving this nigga in a wheelchair lap dance. Yes, it goes down. Like they
That
ain't
nigga just
stopping
mad.
nothing.
That nigga mad because ain't shit popping up in the bed. This nigga, imagine this nigga on the damn floor, you know what I'm saying, showing off doing woolies and everything.
They do. Like you ain't. Where was you at?
I wasn't at the club with a nigga with no in a wheelchair. I'm slid on in.
You act like they can't go where everybody else go. They do the same thing that anybody else will
I
do.
mean, I guess maybe I am trying to. I'm trying to isolate them like they just like you know what I'm
like
saying.
they
My
live
bad.
life just like everybody else.
But I'm just saying, my nigga, you just at a certain point though. But look, hey, look, to each his own. Go ahead, to each his own. If you're a woman and you see a nigga, know what I'm saying, rolling in a wheelchair, and you see potential in a nigga, by all means, go ahead. I mean, they need love.
You act like just because he's in a wheelchair does not mean that they can't. There are people too. Never mind. Just forget it. Never mind. So, all right. So let's talk about this phase right here because this is where T is still trying to be a good woman and David is proving he does not deserve the title of husband, right? So this is a period where T decides, I'm going back to school for my master's. She like, I got goals, a future, and I refuse to let life or man stall me out. So she's already holding the household down, working, paying bills, and still saying, I can still level up. And because T was really trying to make this marriage make sense, she encouraged David go do something with his life too. Like, sir, you cannot just sit around here marinating in self-pity and bitches. Use your brain. Do something productive. So David ends up enrolling in ITT Tech, and he gets whatever they give
end up
you over there.
rolling in ITT Tech.
You're so petty, man. So he got whatever they give you over there, a certificate, diploma, participation ribbon. I don't know. But anyway, on paper, it looks like progress, right? And from the outside looking in, it looks like they was both grinding, both hustling, both working on themselves. But baby, looks can be deceiving because 3 years into the marriage, David is still cheating.
All right, stop right there. God damn it. Hold on. Now this is getting ridiculous, man. All right. Do you know what you gotta do, what gotta go into cheating? Your legs? It's like Tommy from Martin ain't working. Like, do you know what you got? Like, how do you? I ain't trying to be funny, right? If we got any handicapped people in the wheelchair that cheat, let me know. All I want to know.
Oh my God, it's the first episode in the new year.
I just want to know, nigga, how's y'all like?
Why are you like this today? Like you are like,
I just want to
you are
know.
on one today.
I just want to know because I am really curious.
You are not even a full 72 hours into the new year, and you just own one.
No, jeez, man, I'm damn. But the point I'm making is, man, like, damn it, what? You know what? I blame women. I do. I'm gonna sit up there. I'm gonna blame women because who is making this nigga feel comfortable enough to get out there and really be out here and cheating and shit? Know what I'm saying? Like, know what I'm saying? Ain't no like real talk. Ain't nobody like women. Y'all be having that women intuition. You don't know that this handicap ass nigga is cheating. Know what I'm saying? Or y'all don't care. I would like to know that. My bad. Go ahead.
Do we not care? Okay, so the answer to that is we get digmatized if it's real good and we can't think properly.
Man, so a nigga that you gotta he can't even hit it from the back. Like you gotta ride him.
Actually, you know what? You might have been able to because if you saw the video, he was like doing his upper body workout. Like, I mean, he could.
I get that part. That's upper body though, but them legs, them things dragging and wagging. Them legs ain't doing shit.
Okay, so anyway, let's get back on track. Anyway, so this nigga's not sneaky cheating. He's not. I almost got caught. No, this nigga was cheating boldly from a wheelchair with the audacity of a man who forgot to pay the light bill. And here's where it turns like from disrespectful into diabolical. David had the nerve, the gall, the unmitigated audacity to bring another woman into this woman's house while she was at work.
Now, look, okay, come on now. So look, this is my thing. Let's back up.
That would have been it for me.
I know, and I mean, but she's so damn smart, she dumb. This is my thing. Let's check this out. So he's living in a house with her. There are signs that a woman lives there. Know what I'm saying? Like, it is signs that a woman lived there. Know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me whoever this woman is that's coming home with a nigga in a wheelchair, know what I'm saying? You not paying attention to seeing shit? And the audacity of this nigga, you's a bold ass nigga to cheat on your caregiver? I swear, man. Jeez, go ahead, Hot Wheels.
So, like I said, this nigga is cheating in the house that she paid for while she's out teaching kids, chasing degrees, and funding this entire operation. Like, make it make sense. Because how are you in cheating? You're immobilized, unemployed, and still feeling entitled. And that is not insecurity. That is not trauma. That is not I'm struggling emotionally. That is a trash ass man abusing a good woman's loyalty. That's what it is at this point.
And then a woman, look, and the thing is, like, real talk, because I'm not being funny, like, all jokes aside, my father was paralyzed, you know what I'm saying, but he was paralyzed from his shoulders down, right? So I was his main caregiver. So I say this because I understand, I know. She literally, whoever was cheating with him, right? If they did something, she had to pick him up out of his wheelchair and put him in the bed. Like,
well, that's not necessarily true. Like, people, like, they know, like, how to maneuver themselves to get in and not, like,
well,
they
all right,
don't
it's funny to me, and I think the image of him getting picked up like a little toddler is funny. So I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying? She picked this little nigga up and put him over her shoulders and birthed him.
So anyway, at this point, David wasn't confused. He was just comfortable knowing that T would hold everything together while he did whatever he wanted to with no consequence. And that comfort, that's what turns neglect into resentment. And then resentment turns into disaster.
So check this out, y'all. So at this point, T is done, right? Not emotional, not confused, clear, right? She straight up tell David, look, we can have an open relationship. Not because it was her dream situation, but because she was tired of being disrespected while pretending she didn't see what was happening. And that's crazy to fuck to me. You would lower your standards and have it rather than walking away from the nigga, because obviously he can't walk away from you. Know what I'm saying? you lower your standards, say let's have an open relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's crazy. So look, her logic was real simple. If you can do it, I can do it too, right? Because why is it okay for you to be outside, but I'm supposed to sit in this house faithful, quiet, and embarrassed? Nah, if the door open, it's open for everyone. I ain't even mad at you, girl. Go ahead and live your life, right? And let's be honest, T wasn't even built for sneaking, right? She was built for honesty, structure, and rules. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is, like, this is great. And she gonna cheat though, right? Because a nigga is real quick to know what I'm saying. Like, while we doing it's cool while we do it. Know what I'm saying? Problem when she do it. You know that, know what I'm saying? So he gonna be in his feelings. All she really gotta do is cheat with a nigga that live in a high rise with no elevator, right? The nigga gonna be in the lobby yelling, TT. Oh shit. So this wasn't about chaos. This was about leveling the playing field. And again, I'm not mad. But here's the part people need to understand. T still didn't want to leave him, right? This was a weakness. This was commitment. I don't know if it was weakness or if it was commitment, man. I don't look at it as a commitment. Know what I'm saying? You stay committed to something that's committed to you. I'm a firm believer in that. You know what I'm saying? To me, I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say weakness either. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it can be weak because it's easier to stay. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you are really letting a nigga with little ass legs do you dirty. That's crazy as hell. So
why do you mean his legs is little? If we got, okay, so let me just give a disclaimer. If y'all are new here, please pay this man absolutely no attention. Lord Jesus.
Babe, that's what happened. He can't use his legs, so they get real shriveled up and they look like number 2 pencils.
His legs was not shriveled up.
You know the nigga personally? If you not telling me something?
Let's watch the episode. His legs weren't shriveled up.
Man, them legs, look, all I'm trying to say, yeah, them nigga, don't let her lie to you. That nigga had some twigs, you know what I'm saying? He had little skinny legs. Yes, it's just happened. Anyway, she didn't want to abandon her husband. She knew his condition. She knew the help he needed. She wasn't about to walk away from a man who depended on her just because things got ugly. T took her vows seriously, man. Now, I'm sorry, that's stupidity. I'm sorry. I mean, whether
it's not stupidity.
It's stupidity, bro.
No, we as women, we tend to be overly loyal because it's looked at as a weakness for us to walk away from our we've been conditioned to not walk away when it gets tough. We're supposed to hold it down. And I say most of us can attest to being there because we're concerned about how we're gonna be viewed. But you have to get to a point where you're like, I'm gonna leave this nigga where he got me fucked up.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. She should have been left that nigga right in his little sloppy ass wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, I mean, we're not talking about he's maybe just taking out his anger on her where he's frustrated and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is literally out here cheating. She's working and this nigga is cheating. You know what I'm saying? And you already had a baby and you constantly cheating, man. Fuck them vows. You
A
gotta
baby is a
go.
deal breaker. You bring a baby, I'm done. Like to me, that's one thing
Now I gotta
cannot
change.
come
I gotta
off of.
change both y'all niggas diapers. You know what I'm saying? What kind of
Jesus.
shit is that?
But a baby to me is 100% a deal breaker. Like I can possibly
A baby or
okay,
STD? Yeah.
I've even stayed there through an STD, so I can't even say. But a baby is a deal breaker, and that was in my younger years. Now you cheat once, I'm done. It's no coming back from that. But in my younger years, I've stayed through the STDs. I've stayed through the cheating. But baby, I will not stay through a baby.
I feel you. I feel you, right? But look, but what she wasn't gonna do was keep sacrificing her dignity, which that's like not true because you're staying with him, and I don't understand that part, but whatever. So this open relationship wasn't about fun; it was about fairness. It was about T saying, "If you got options, I get options too." And here's the funny part: men love an open relationship in theory until they realize it applies to their wife too. Yes. A nigga, yeah, a one-ended open relationship, best thing in the world. But let your girl come home with nasty Nate, know what I'm saying, with them 12 inches of dangling death. Nigga, you gonna be mad as hell. No, like, yes. That's why open relationship can't work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you love her, I don't know how it's gonna work. But anyway, because it's real easy to say be cool when you think nobody checking for her. Whole different story when you realize, oh wait, somebody might actually want her, right? So by August of 2014, things shift again. T decides she's going back to school again because of course she is. She also takes a position teaching third grade, staying right in her purpose. And because her education journey matters, they moved to Batesville, Mississippi to make it happen. Now here's where it finally looks like David might be catching up a little bit, right? He gets a job working at I Break You Fix, right? And if you don't know what that is, that's the phone repair shop where you crack your screen, they fix it, right? Nothing glamorous, but it's just something steady. And at this point, it matters and it's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't just move, they buy a house, right? So now they locked in. That's another commitment, right? A nice one on Lakeside Street in a subdivision called The Cove. New development, fresh start type vibes. Matter of fact, they were some of the first people on the block, right? No old energy, no baggage, neighbors, clean slate. And T, she does what T always does. She made sure the house is fully fitted for David's wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Making sure it was accessible throughout, make it comfortable, all of that, right? She's still being a good wife, still moving with intention, still trying to create stability, even after everything they've been through, right? From the outside, it looks like growth. New city, new house, new chapter. But as we know, a new address don't fit old behavior. Know what I'm saying? This nigga ain't shit.
Ain't never gonna be shit either. So, like I said, they were some of the first people to move on into this new development, brand new house, brand new neighbors, clean slate vibes. And naturally, as more families start moving in, T did what T always did. She connected. Like she was friendly, outgoing, warm, the kind of person everybody gravitates to her without her even trying. So, like, the women in the neighborhood, they start bonding. They celebrated birthdays together. They check in on each other. They even had a little group chat called the Cove Queens. Now, let me add this part because, context matters. Okay. So T was the only Black woman in that group. Like, everybody else giving very much envelopian community, but still, they made it a thing. Monthly meetups, real neighbor type stuff. And T was, she's outside, she's social, she's living her life like a grown woman is supposed to. And this is the part where David starts losing the plot, right? Because remember, this quote open relationship was his idea until it wasn't. And according to David, the open relationship, quote, wasn't working. But not because he stopped cheating, but because he realized T wasn't sitting in the house waiting on him.
Yeah, just imagine, nigga, you seeing your girl with niggas that's walking.
Oh,
and you like, damn, man, what can he do that I can't do? The nigga could run around the corner.
But see, what? Oh my god! So in his mind, he could do whatever he wanted, but to T, well, she was supposed to take control. And baby, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now, is it? So all of a sudden, like David is jealous. He's insecure. This nigga is pressed like a panini, in the words of Anthony. Okay, he starts going through T's phone. He's calling numbers. He's questioning names. And if it looked like a man, he's dialing it. Sir, put my fucking phone down. Okay,
This dude
because
doing
how
too
are
much.
you mad? But this is what you asked for. You asked for this setup. You wanted the freedom. You opened that door. But now that T outside living and thriving and minding her black-owned business, reminding the world that she is that girl, now it's a problem. Because see, this wasn't about love or boundaries. It was about control. And once a man realized he no longer has it, that's when things start getting really dangerous.
Oh my God, this crazy, right? All right, so boom. By this point, the marriage already is on the decline, right? They're not sleeping in the same room anymore. They are actually in separate bedrooms, separate energy. That relationship has already fractured inside of the house. But they didn't tell nobody that, right? You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in, they look like a solid, hardworking couple. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, it was already done. Now, T's mom said she would stay with them on the weekend. She had her own designated room, and she noticed sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like something that kind of stood out, that David's clothes were in that room, which tells you everything you need to know. He had already been moved out the marital bedroom, right? The decision has been made. And nigga, once you get out that room, it's over, bro. Now, here's where it gets deeper. During the same period, David kids would be at the house, but David wouldn't be there. He would be gone out somewhere doing whatever it was he was doing while T was left there holding it down. And let's be clear, T didn't have any kids of her own. Damn, bro. Like, she is a good one, bro. I ain't gonna lie. She is a good one. All the children involved were David's, right? And while they were together, he went and had a baby on her, right? We know that. So you got a man who disrespected his marriage, created another child outside of it, then still expected T to show up and play stepmom while he disappeared, man. The audacity is at an all-time high. And it gets even nastier. On Facebook, David will post pictures of his kids, tag T, and call her Mama T. Whole time she wasn't their mama. She didn't give birth to him. She didn't owe them that role. You get it, role?
But my thing is, like, I'm looking at his Facebook and I'm like, you had that baby on her and then you want to rub it in her face, having that little girl call you Mama T.
Yeah.
That aggravated me. Like that really aggravated me.
I'm with you. Yeah, that pretty bad. So look, but that's how he moved, benefiting from her presence, her stability, her support, while offering her disrespect in return, right? And folks close to them said during this time, David's behavior toward T started getting worse, verbally abusive, talking reckless, the kind of hostility that comes from a man who knows he messed up but refuses to take accountability. Nigga, I'm not about to let a nigga in the wheelchair disrespect me.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna do that, nigga. Know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that. Know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, shit. Like, real talk. Come on. I'm not about to let you do that, dude. No, and I'm not saying, yeah, but hear me out. I'm talking about this situation, that is. I'm not talking about people that are actually in a wheelchair handicap. I'm talking about him. Like, this nigga is beyond disrespectful. Like, come on, bro. Know what I'm saying? I'm not about to let you do that, man. You got to go ahead and, know what I'm saying, get your roll on and go on somewhere, bro.
Get your roll on.
So, look. By June, T had reached her limit. She told her mom straight up, I'm tired. This is too much. Life goes on without a man. Go ahead, girl. This was an emotion that was resolved. She told her mom she wanted a divorce, not a threat, not a scare tactic. A decision, right? She started spending weekends at her mom's house, putting space between herself and David, clearing her head, planning her next move. And then David pulls up to her mama's house uninvited, talk about, hey, can y'all help me out this car right quick? No.
Oh.
No, he pulled up to the house talk about, he just want to talk. Nah.
Ain't shit to talk about.
Ain't shit to talk about. Know what I'm saying? Ain't shit to talk about. And we not helping you out the car either. We not. T shut that shit down immediately. Told him
we not helping you out the car.
She told him, we don't have nothing to talk about. Move around. I said what I said. 10 toes down, no hesitation, no hope. David leaves. I know that nigga was mad as hell. Like, damn, bitch, she couldn't even help me out the car. Now, this is June 4th, 2021, just days before the murder. Later that same day, T goes fishing with her mom and sister. And they say she seemed lighter. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who finally chose herself. She had plans, she had direction, she had peace on the horizon. She even told her mom she planned to put the house up for sale, right? And right there, that was the turning point. Because for some men, it's not the cheating. It's not even a divorce, right? It's when they realize they're about to lose assets, comfort, and control. And that is so damn true. Women, please listen. And that's when things start to get dangerous.
No, for real. And that's another thing. Like, what do we say? Grace is free, but access is earned, and everybody does not deserve access to you.
Yeah, you're right. I like that.
But so anyway, that week T goes back to the house because when she said she was done, she meant capital D done. She was not going back and forth. She was not about to negotiate, and she was just going to get her shit. She had plans. She was meeting with a realtor. She got the house ready, lined everything up. And let me tell y'all something else real quick. Because when women say, we'll say we are done 1,000 times. Like, we will say it over and over. We will tell our friends. We gonna tell our family, like, I'm done with that nigga, and be right back with the nigga the next week. But when we really done, oh, you gonna know, because it ain't no coming back. Like, it's nothing you can say.
Man, look, let me tell you. Look, you know, I don't appreciate R. Kelly peeing on them young ladies like that, right? But I'll tell you this. That song, When a Woman's Fed Up, that's one of the realest songs it is, man. Because when a woman is fed up, that is the truth, nigga. It ain't shit you could do about it. Now, ain't no woman been that fed up with me, but I heard from...
That's a lie.
I know, right? You ain't got to do that shit. You don't have to put my business out there like that. Go ahead.
First of all, everybody already know you used to be a hoe. So, I mean...
I'm just saying, but I'm just... Anyway, it's 2026. Let's... Go ahead. Oh, it's on me?
No.
Okay, well, hurry up. Go ahead then. Jeez, you be... Don't... Your reaction time, like, you just be sitting up there like what I'm going to do. Yes, you made me sound so bad sometimes. Jeez.
You were horrible.
Ugh.
You were absolutely freaking horrible. Yes, you were. I was there to witness it, sir.
Look, man, I'm a changed man. All right.
Praise God for that. Okay,
Hey,
so
damn.
Anyway. So it's Wednesday afternoon, and T's mom is calling her phone, and it's going straight to voicemail. Now, that already ain't right, because T always answers for her mama. Always. Like I said, if she for some reason missed it, she's gonna call back. But instead, her mom gets a text, and it's like, hey, mom, I'm gonna call you later. It was like real short, real dry, but like not T at all. But her mom was like, okay, maybe she's busy, or whatever. So she waits a little bit and she calls back, but she's still not getting an answer. But instead of her not getting an answer, she gets another text. So now, black mamas in general, her spirit start to be real uneasy, because her daughter don't move like that. She don't dodge her, and she does not go quiet. So like days are going by. Friday finally rolls around. It's June 11th, 2021. And at this point, her mama was like, I ain't heard from my child. Her sister hadn't heard from her. And that's when her mother was like, look, I need to put eyes on my baby, because that's instinct. Something is wrong. So she like, let me hop in the car. I'm about to take me a little road trip. Ain't no giving nobody no heads up, no announcement. I just need to see my daughter and make sure she's okay, because she knew something was wrong.
Oh, man, here we go, man. So here where everything starts happening at the same damn time, right? While all this mess is brewing, T's mama, right, is on her way to Oxford to check on her daughter. And listen, the mama knows, right? We know that something didn't feel right in her spirit. So while she's driving, she also calls the Oxford Police Department and asks them to do a wellness check on T. That's one lane. Now let's slide over to the other lane, because David's life is also unraveling in real time. David had missed work. Now, mind you, this man worked for you, Break I Fix, and apparently he had been sending weird, concerning text messages to some of his coworkers. Enough that one of them said, yeah, nah, let me check on this nigga, right? So the coworker calls David, and David says, real casual, like he's talking about a missing shift, yeah, I shot my wife a few days ago. Bitch, what? The coworker like, excuse me? Like, what? Nigga, what did you just say? Because ain't no way. The coworker immediately tells their boss. The boss calls 911, and now the police are headed to David's house. So while T's mama is on the road trying to get to her child, police are already circling David, right? Now, here's where David starts telling his version of events. The dispatcher calls him and asks if everything is okay. And David says, as I quote, no, it's not. He tells the dispatcher that T had come at him with a knife earlier, then went into her bedroom. He said later on he went into the bedroom looking for his shoes. Bitch, stop lying. You wasn't looking for your shoes, nigga. Stop lying. Because, of course, that's the priority, and claimed that T jumped off the bed with a knife and said, didn't I tell you to stay up out of here? Get out of here. He said she came at him again with the knife. And then he says he claims he could tell by the look in her eyes that she was serious, that she was about to do something. That's when he says he panicked.
She about to do something.
Exactly,
something could have been anything. Something could have been she gonna give him the middle finger.
I know, right?
Something could have been she gonna cuss him out.
Exactly, nigga, or put the child locks on your wheelchair. I don't know, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's when he says he panicked and he shot her and killed her. Now pause, right? This man had time to leave work, miss work, Tesco workers, sit in the house for days, but wants you to believe that this was sudden panic. Make it make sense. So the dispatcher asked, where's the gun? And this nigga said he's got 2 of them with him. 2.
I was like, what you need to?
I look, man. I would look. So the dispatcher tells him to leave the guns in the kitchen and walk outside to meet deputies, right? Bitch, I can't walk. Oh shit, that's so crazy, nigga. Now I know that nigga like, damn, that it just don't quit. And when the police pull up, he does exactly that. Well, he doesn't. Know what I'm saying? He wheels his crippled ass outside and surrenders. No chase, no resistance, no urgency to save T.
How was they gonna chase him? I mean, he couldn't have got far.
A nigga saying, them nigga, his arm was cocky. All right? That nigga could have rolled the hell on, know what I'm saying? Shit, especially if he had the little wheelchair with the 4-wheel drive, that nigga could have been hitting all type of... Like, damn, that nigga gone, man. Look at that nigga go. Meanwhile, T mama is still on the road, not knowing her daughter's already gone. Rest in heaven.
So they arrest his non-leg working ass immediately because, sir, you already told on yourself. I'm so...
All they had to do is literally handcuff him to his wheelchair. He couldn't do shit.
I'm starting over. I can't with you. Please stop.
Oh, shit. Go ahead.
Okay, so they arrest his non-leg working ass immediately because, sir, you already told on yourself. They read him his Miranda rights real slow, real clear, because you are not about to limp your way out of this one. And officer said something felt off immediately. Like, this nigga wasn't crying, wasn't pacing, wasn't asking about her. Like, he was real detached, real calm. Like,
he couldn't pace.
He could pace in his wheelchair. Yes, he could. He just wheeled back and forth.
It's like, why this nigga just doing 360s in the wheelchair?
So like they say he was like almost bored. Like he was like, it was like they was inconveniencing him. Like he had things to do and they was aggravating him. So anyway, like while this fool was outside posted up, the police go inside and secure the house. And the first thing they see are the guns sitting on the kitchen table like trophies. So they start clearing out the house room by room, and then they walk into the bedroom, and that's where they find T. She's on the floor, dead, and she's been covered with a comforter. Now let's stop it right there for a second, because when they pull that comforter back, this poor woman is only wearing panties, like no shirt, no pajamas, just panties. So don't sit here and tell me no neat little self-defense story. Somebody didn't just panic and accidentally shoot his wife where she's half naked and then tuck her under a blanket like a fucked up bedtime ritual. That comforter wasn't for her. It was for him. They noticed 3 bullet holes in the walls, and they look towards the bathroom, and the bathroom looks like somebody tried to erase a crime. Not messy from a struggle, wiped down, disturbed, wrong. And an autopsy later confirms that T was shot once in the chest, and that bullet went clean through her body and exited out her back. And she was also shot once in the right and once in the left leg. So miss me with the I panic bullshit. You didn't panic, shoot somebody 3 times, and then start rearranging the house. Now, the lead detective said something that sealed David's fate in my mind. He said that her body had been moved. And there wasn't enough blood soaked into the carpet underneath where her body was found, not for a chest wound with an exit wound through the back, but there were like small pools of blood under each wound. And then they noticed something else. They noticed blood on the bottom of her feet, blood that did not match any of her other injuries, which means that somebody grabbed her by the feet and dragged her. Dragged her after she was shot. And after she was naked except for some panties. After she was already gone. And then police also found a knife in the bathroom and more blood, but here's the problem. The blood looks smeared like somebody tried to wipe it up. And the knife, it's clean. There's no blood, there's no fingerprints, there's no chaos. Like it was like put there like it was like a prop or something. Oh, and in case you're wondering how sloppy yet calculated this man was, there were bullet holes in the bathroom too, like one in the door and two in the wall near the door. So the police are looking for the shell casings and they found them. But they weren't on the floor or near the guns, but they were actually stuffed inside of a small bottle hidden in a bedside table in a completely different bedroom. So that's definitely not fear. That's somebody cleaning up their mess. And let me make this crystal clear. When David was arrested, he had not a single knife wound, no cuts, no defensive injuries. Man didn't even have a scratch on him. So the story about her coming at him with a knife, that was a lie that he rehearsed while dragging her body and wiping blood. So, and while the police are uncovering all this, while the truth is literally bleeding through the house, T's mama, Elisa, is still driving, trying to get to her daughter. So she gets a call from David's mama. And this lady gets on the phone and said, T's dead, and hangs up. Like, excuse me? What? Like, she didn't give no context, compassion, that was just cruel. So now Elisa has to finish her drive knowing that her child is gone, knowing her daughter. She don't even know what happened to her daughter at this point, but her daughter was shot, dragged half naked, covered up and left in the house. And the man who did it is just sitting outside like, I don't know, like he waiting on his doctor's appointment or something. So this nigga didn't cry.
So this nigga, the son ain't got no compassion. Mama, so son ain't got no compassion. Mama ain't got no sense. Just like her son ain't got no goddamn legs. Like that's just crazy. Like, know what I'm saying? Like to call the mother and tell her daughter is dead, just like that, then hang up. Oh man, yeah, y'all, nigga, your whole family screwed up, man. That's crazy. But then I don't know, man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
like because I said this man wasn't panicking, like he was over here trying to get away with murder, but then it gets nastier. Like, so while police are walking through the house, surveying the scenes, trying to make sense of the bullshit David is selling, they notice like something written in a black Sharpie on the kitchen counter. Like it was real big, clear and intentional. It said pain, lies, and deceit. Okay, all the shit that you were causing, probably. Yeah. That's what you caused her.
like,
So, like,
nigga.
don't tell me this was panic. Don't tell me this was fucking fear. That man was sitting in his feelings, stewing and writing his manifesto on a damn counter. And they noticed something else that should have set off every alarm in the building. Every single photo in that house that had T and David together had been turned face down. That is hatred, resentment, and I don't even want to look at what I destroyed. Now let's talk about this man, because he got arrested, they took him down. But let's talk about his bond. Because this is where the system showed its ass. This man murders his wife, and the judge sets the bail at $100,000. Like, and that sounds high until you understand how bail works, right? Because David just gets a bail bondsman and he bonds out for $10,000. $10,000. Your mama could have had a fish fry him with $10,000. That's not no money.
Yeah. I told you, man, my first experiences with bond was when the dude who shot my father, he shot my father, and it just so happens that his girlfriend lived directly next door to my grandmother's house. So I remember my father in the hospital, my mom was dropping me off to my grandmother's house so she can go see my father. And when I'm walking, imagine as a child, I was 8 years old at the time, I'm seeing the dude that shot my father, and I'm thinking like, why he not, I'm 8 years, I don't know shit about bond. Like, this nigga ain't in jail, like he free. Man, I was so terrified, man. Yes. That's when I found out about what bail and everything like that. That's crazy as hell, man.
Like, so basically, like the very next day, that nigga's out on murder charges. And where does he go? right back to that house where he shot his wife and dragged her and covered her half naked body with a comforter and then wiped the blood off the floor. He went right back in there like nothing happened. He was eating there, sleeping, shit, living there. And
Man,
guess
if I
what
was a
else?
family nigga, I would have took the ramp from the front of the house. That nigga ain't getting in that house. Nigga, I would have been on some trash, nigga. It would have been no wheelchair accessibility in that house. That nigga would have been struggling.
So even after all that, this fuck ass nigga goes back to work, which is crazy to me because personally, if you told somebody you shot your wife, I don't trust you with a break room microwave, let alone a job. But somehow life just kept going for him. Like they said, this man was at the club 2 weeks after T was killed.
This
2
nigga,
weeks. Like, did you even
oh
grieve? That you didn't give a damn. And allegedly, because I'm gonna say, I was told to me, his family threw him a cookout after he posted bail. Like a cookout for what?
And look, this is my thing. Now, I get it that family want to be with their people, but man, that's one thing about me, nigga. I'm not glorifying bad shit. Like, nigga, I'm not about to say I'm happy. I pray for the best, but nigga, you kill somebody. I'm not throwing you no damn cookout. Man, you better take your crippled ass on somewhere, my nigga. Like,
First of all, like,
yes.
we need to be focusing on getting you a defense, which I would have just been like, whatever plea they give you, you just need to go ahead and take that shit. But we're not. What are we celebrating? What exactly are we
Yeah, that's what I'm
celebrating? You killing
saying,
your
nigga.
wife?
Yes, nigga, we ain't celebrating shit, man. Go on somewhere, nigga.
So later on, this man, he eventually moves out the house allegedly and moves in with his baby mama in Tupelo, Mississippi.
And that she a dumb bitch too. You a dumb
Clearly.
bitch too, yes. Now
So
you gotta get a ramp on your house and make your house wheelchair accessible for a nigga that's on about to go to trial for killing his wife. I mean, I know the lack of dick is not that bad. It can't be that bad, man. Come on, women, got to be more careful.
But like my thing is, if you are known for domestic violence and you just killed your wife, I don't want you nowhere around me. Because if you do it to your wife, I'm just a baby mama. What would you do to me?
Man,
I mean, I'm just saying. But
bitch.
so this man, he's shacking up, rebuilding, adjusting his life. But this man was not done being evil, right? So I'm going through his Facebook page, and it's a memorial page that T's family put up, and this man logs in to Facebook on her account. On her page, it starts commenting on posts where her family is mourning her, calling them liars. And in case anybody thought it might be fake, this nigga signed his own name under the comment. So they knew it was
what I'm saying. Now, look, again, so all the shit that I've been talking about him, y'all understand why. Know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, now you see why. So don't be sitting like, oh my God, Willie, you're just so cruel. No, this nigga. Yeah, his ass deserve that shit. Know what I'm saying? Real talk. He literally deserved that shit, man. Like this nigga, man, let me stop. Go ahead.
You're juggling a lot, but you can still squeeze in a financial plan. With the Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisor as your partner, it's not only possible, it's personalized. So if you're tying the knot, closing on a house, or welcoming a little one, you'll be ready for whatever life tosses your way. It's the right time to feel less stressed and more certain. That's a better way to money. Let's get started at nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Like, this is sick and calculated. Like, I just have no more words. But hold on, because the audacity didn't stop there. It didn't. Because would you expect it to? Because on his Facebook page, David's sitting up there posting pictures of T after she died, talking about how much he missed her, saying people, quote, wouldn't understand. Understand what? We don't understand, sir. We do not understand. We, in fact, do not. Because what are we supposed to understand now after you killed your wife because you couldn't control her? Now you're going to post something about, I miss you. Nigga, please.
Yeah.
Like, and this nigga never once said, I'm sorry. Yeah. He didn't have any remorse, accountability, or responsibility. Like, he just putting on a performance with self-pity.
They gonna take that wheelchair bound Gucci cap. Man, I can't wait. Let's get to I want to get to the part where he gets convicted. That's what I'm trying to get to, because this nigga, people like that, like, I do not under no circumstances feel bad for. Like, a nigga like that, this nigga gonna be rolling around with a wig on, lipstick, know what I'm saying? And I'm just married on the back of my wheelchair with the little cans flipping, know what I'm saying? While you holding hands or holding pockets. That's what, like, I don't feel sorry for nobody like that, my nigga. You did some bullshit. You should have ducked to stay out the way. But you, man, go ahead.
Right, you're antagonizing her
Yeah.
family. And actually, I saw another post where her mom, like, put up, like, she was just frustrated with everything that was going on. And it was somebody in his family. I don't know, she was an auntie, but her last name was Swims too. And she was like, it was something ignorant, like, oh, go cry me a river. Like, what the fuck is wrong with your family?
Yeah, I tell that the family,
This
man.
woman lost her child to the
Yeah.
hands of your family member. Y'all should be like, y'all should be against the nigga too, because right is right.
Yeah.
We know he killed her. Like, it was no
ands and buts
speculation.
about it. The nigga clearly said he shot. All right, go ahead, man.
Exactly. Like, and I'm just like, this is so infuriating. So anyway, this man is out on bail for almost 2 years before he ever went to trial. So this man got 2 years of freedom, partying, posting online, and pretending like life was just normal. And that poor woman's family is like frozen in grief, like just reliving her death over and over again. Like, their neighbors were like, I mean, it was just very weird. We knowing this man killed her and he's still just walking around the neighborhood. Like,
First of all, the nigga wasn't walking around shit. Let's clarify that right now.
Sorry, rolling around the neighborhood.
Nobody couldn't steal this nigga wheelchair. Like, damn it, come on, man. Somebody got to do something to teach this nigga a lesson, man. You can't steal the nigga wheelchair. Nothing.
But it's just like I said, it wasn't that he just killed her. Like, he just kept disrespecting her even after the poor woman was gone. Like, that pisses me off so bad.
So look, the trial finally kicks off September 19, 2023. And from the jump, let's be clear, David is charged with first-degree murder. Yes, not manslaughter, not negligent murder, just straight first-degree murder. Now, the prosecution came out swinging. The whole position is simple. David didn't stumble in that bathroom scared. Know what I'm saying? He went in there planning to kill her. They break down the bullet holes, the angles, the placement. And what it shows is that T was trying to get away from him, not advancing on him. Those bullets didn't line up with somebody charging forward. They lined up with somebody backing up. They also bring in evidence from T's mama, text messages from T's last days, and them tests shows exactly how David was talking to her, controlling, pressing, not letting up. And another key detail, T's body had been lying there for at least 2 days before David even called 911. 2 days, meaning he had time to think, time to clean, time to stage, time to rehearse a story. And when they pulled his phone record,
and that's creepy as hell. You sit in a house with a dead body for 2 days.
Yeah, you a sick ass. Yeah, you a sick nigga, man. Right. And when they pulled his phone records, it got even worse. David did not want her to leave. He did not want a divorce at all. This wasn't mutual. This wasn't we grew apart. He was trying to keep her right where she was. Now, here where David makes a decision that usually don't work out for defendants. He testifies on his own behalf. And this is where the bullshit starts flowing. You know what I'm saying? According to David, T had been cheated with multiple men on different occasions. He talks about how they were sleeping in a separate bedroom, admits he didn't want the divorce, but claims he agreed to it because she was adamant about it. Then he walks the jury into June 8th, 2021. He says he came home from work around 5:30 p.m., offered to cook dinner, and T told him, I don't need you to do a damn thing for me or with your little scrawny legs. He claims she was drinking wine, right? And you know, when women start drinking, that's when they let the truth start coming out. So he says he went outside to avoid an argument, but she followed him outside. He says he stayed outside most of the night trying to avoid her. Already sounds shaky. Then he says the next morning he knocks on her bedroom door because his shoes are in there. He claimed when she opened the door, she was naked because that's how she slept, and she was drinking wine again. He says while he's looking for his shoes, she starts cussing him out and shoves him. He claims he caught himself on the bed, then stood back up, and they kept arguing. Live right there. Right there. Nigga, you can't stand. Right there, nigga. Guilty. Nigga, right there. And then, and this part is insane. David said he told T that he was having a relationship with her sister. Yeah, that. He claimed T responded, that better not be true or I'm going to fuck you up. And instead of de-escalating, instead of leaving, instead of shutting the hell up, this man says he pulled out his phone and started playing video and audio proof of him having sex with her sister in her bedroom.
Let me stop you right there. I really want to know if that's true.
I do
Because
too, because like I'm not trying to be funny. Like, what was the question is, what was this nigga look? I'm not being gay
first
or
of all,
nothing
he
like
wasn't
that.
even cute with his receding hairline. His hairline was way far.
Nigga,
Nigga
his
ain't
hairline was
cute
sliding.
at all.
His hairline was sliding off the back of his head on his shoulders. All right, let's clarify that.
The
Second of
nigga's not
all,
cute, and he was short before he got in the wheelchair. He's only 5'6", so the nigga's short and frail too.
this
So
nigga was in a wheelchair swinging his feet. I mean, well, his feet was swinging. It wasn't him swinging it for every time he hit a bump. That's how short he was.
But my thing, I was like, when I saw that in the court docs, I was really side-eyeing it because I'm sitting there like, now they didn't say if it was true or not. But if it is, I'm side-eyeing the fuck out of her sister. Like I
Yeah,
said,
real
I'm not
talk.
saying it's true, but how
Man,
her
she
sister
should
was
have been
on,
on. She should have been on Facebook clearing the air. Hey, look, let's clear the air. I wasn't that. That ain't true. You know what I'm saying? So,
like I say, the court docs and that they didn't say if it was true or not, but they just said that's what that man said on the stand. But I'm just like, when he's saying he has proof and he showed her, because that would make anybody snap. I'm just saying.
yeah, I get it.
That would make somebody snap.
I get it. So at this point, he says T lost it. And again, here we go. He says he could tell by the look in her eyes that she was about to do something. He claims she picked up a knife, unsheathed it, and lunged at him. Now remember, this man is in a wheelchair. He says he was backing up, tilting his wheelchair, reached over, grabbed a gun off the nightstand, and fired 3 shots in quick succession, right? Claiming he wasn't even looking where he was aiming. He says T stumbled back into the bathroom door and fell. Then he says he moved her body while trying to resuscitate her, right? Nigga, you lying, right? Then he wiped up some of the blood in the bathroom because, and I quote the logic, he didn't want to get blood all over himself. And the reason he didn't call the police? He said he was devastated, panicked. And then he has the nerve to say accidentally shooting someone he loved and cared for and had been with for over 10 years was very traumatic for him. For him. That's his testimony.
Yes, because forget her. I mean, he's been cheating and had babies on her.
I mean, I love her so much that I supposedly had sex with her sister in her bed. But I love her, though. I loved her that much.
And then I was just so devastated I went to sleep. What?
Yes, man. Yeah, so at this point in the trial, everybody in the courtroom already knew what time it was.
And oh no, because when you think this story can't get any more insulting, here he go digging even deeper. This man tells the jury that after killing his wife, after leaving her body, the whole thing was just so traumatic for him that he decided to take several Ambien and go to sleep. Go to sleep. Not call for help or check on her or, maybe even fall apart. No, he just tucked himself in. So let me run this back just because I just need to clarify this in my own head.
Please do.
So you claim you were panicked, but you had enough presence of mind to pop sleeping pills and knock yourself out. That doesn't sound like panic. It just sounds like avoidance. And then he says the next day he wakes up and runs an errand. An errand with your wife's dead body because you killed her in the other room. He said he had to go to his job and return some keys. Because while his wife is lying dead on the floor, rigor mortis is setting in, blood is drying. He's just like, you know what? Let me be responsible and go turn these keys in. Like, sir, you didn't misplace the office supplies. You killed your wife. Then he says, I thought about killing myself, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. We wish you would have.
I mean, real talk, man. Yeah.
Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. We kind of wish you
Yeah,
do.
you should have rolled yourself out in the middle of the goddamn street and just got hit. That would have been perfect.
Because, like, I said, one thing about this whole case, this nigga was committed to self-preservation, always above all else, because he wasn't too devastated to sleep or too devastated to drive, or he wasn't even too devastated to go to work. He wasn't too devastated to clean up blood. He wasn't too devastated to lie for 2 years. But we're supposed to believe that he was too devastated to call 911. All right, be serious. Like, this is what really, like, fries me. He wants the jury to believe that he was helpless, panicked, overwhelmed. But look at the list of things that he managed to do after the shooting. So let's run this back just in case you missed the first time. He moved her body. He drug her across the floor. He covered her with a comforter. He cleaned up blood. He hid shell casings. He staged a knife. He flipped the photos face down. He writes messages on the counter. He takes sleeping pills. He sleeps through it. He runs errands.
And then the nigga lied and said that he stood up. Remember that? Don't forget that. That's important. That's a bold-faced lie. The truth ain't in him.
So miss me with the whole I didn't know what I was doing act. You knew enough to protect yourself every step in the way. And what is so fucking disgusting, even in court and under oath, every single emotion he describes is about him, his trauma, his fear, his sleepless nights, his pain. Like, you didn't say nothing about poor T. Like, never how she was in fear or she was trying to get away or her last moments. Just him, the same way it was in that marriage, same way it was in that house, same way it was after she died. This was not an accident, and this was not panic, and it damn sure was not self-defense. This was a man who couldn't stand losing control and then spent 2 years trying to outrun the consequences.
Well, we know he wasn't trying to outrun.
Oh my God. Outwheel the consequences.
There we go. So once the prosecution finally got David on the stand and started cross-examining him, that little shaky fairy tale he had been telling fell completely the F apart. They pulled the text messages from 2 weeks leading up to T's death, and those messages told the real story. That nigga was mad. Mad she wanted a divorce. Mad he thought she was cheating.
In a wheelchair.
Mad he was in a wheelchair. Mad he was losing control. Mad he couldn't do the stanky leg. And while he kept trying to persuade her, guilt her, and pressure her into staying, T stayed firm. And I'm proud of her for that, right? She wasn't negotiating. She wasn't wavering. She kept telling him she was done. That right there gave the jury motive clear as day. This wasn't mutual, and he did not want to let her go. Then the prosecution zoomed out and said, nah, this ain't just about the relationship. This is about who the man has always been. They introduced record from Carroll County Justice Court showing David had a pattern of violence. Not a bad day. Simple assault charges involving his ex-wife in 2000 and 2001. So that nigga like to choke bitches. Okay. A simple assault charge against a deputy in 2003 where he conveniently got expunged, and then the one that really made the room go quiet. A 2007 offense report out of Grenada Municipal Court where his first wife reported that he raped her in 2006 after holding her down on the couch with a screwdriver pressed to her neck. The case, yes. The case
a screwdriver.
That's why I said the nigga, yes, that nigga was a foul nigga from the beginning. So that nigga losing his legs, that nigga shit. I ain't been mad.
He wasn't shit before he couldn't walk.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yes. Nigga, you know you would, if you ain't shit now, that a car accident that took your ability to walk didn't humble you, it made you just as worse. My nigga, you ain't shit in general, right? You was a waste of sperm. So the case didn't move forward, but the paper trail existed, and what it showed was a man who had a violent, controlling, and dangerous nonsense streak long before T ever entered the picture. Then T's sister Shalonda took the stand, right? And this is where it hurt. She testified that in May of 2021, a full month before T was murdered, T called 911 because David was acting irrationally, right? According to T, officers came to the house, spoke to David, smiled with him, and left. No arrest, no report, no paper trail. Shalonda said,
now, pause for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Why they didn't ask her if she? I wanted to know why they did not ask this lady was she sleeping with her husband, with her sister's husband. I would like to know why. What type of defense attorney didn't ask that question?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be funny. That would have been one of the first things. I want to see the video, nigga. Where the video at, dog? Where's the phone at? I want to see this.
No, but I'm just saying, like from a defense standpoint, that would have been smart to ask her.
No, I agree.
You don't say established like, okay, she snapped and she did lunge at him. Yeah. And I'm just like, so why y'all didn't ask her? Because we want to know too.
I'm with you. So Shalonda said T called her afterwards and said, I did what you told me to do. I tried to get a paper trail. They just walked in, talked to him, smiled, and walked out. Now, here's the part that'll make your blood boil. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Department later said that they had no record of a call from the house in May 2021. Dispatch couldn't find it. Neighbors didn't remember police showing up, and whether that call disappeared, was unlocked, or was mishandled, one thing was clear. T tried to get help, and the system did not protect her. That's so sad, right? The police, police be failing so many damn times. It's ridiculous. When prosecutors circle back to David's own actions after the murder, his story collapsed even further. David initially claimed he called 911 himself until cross-examination. Then suddenly his memory was hazy. Suddenly he was highly medicated. Suddenly he wasn't sure if he called 911 or if his coworker did. Dispatch confirmed there was no 911 call from the address. And then, like he really thought he was doing something, David told the jury things went sideways that morning. And what happened, happened. Was it avoidable? Probably. Man, probably. About his wife after dragging her body, cleaning blood, staging
Probably.
a saint.
This is a
Right.
classic narcissist. Classic.
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 Yes. Hiding shell cases, sleeping in the house. And we going to talk about the last little Hail Mary David's defense tried to throw because it was weak then and it's weak now. Like, damn. I mean, they trying to do everything, though.
Except ask what we all want to know.
I want to know. Like, I want to see that video, dog. I want to see that video. I'm trying to see how. I want to see how this. I don't even want to see if you telling the truth. I'm trying to see how a nigga, you know what I'm saying, who can't walk, it's humping. That's what I want to see. I want to see what them legs doing, dog. Are they just hanging off the side of the bed? Like, what's going on here?
Anyway, so David's attorney, his name was Mitchell Driscoll. He stood up in front of the jury and he really tried it. Like, he leaned heavy into David being in the wheelchair, talking about limited mobility. Like, you was sticking dicks to every bitch you saw, but you got limited mobility. How did that work?
Make it make sense.
And he said how it impacted his ability to escape the situation, how he was allegedly trapped and cornered and vulnerable. So anyway, he was trying to sell this sympathy story. Like, what was he supposed to do? And the jury was just sitting there, looking like exactly how I'm looking. Like, we don't believe you, sir. We don't. Anyway, because being in a wheelchair does not give you a license to shoot somebody 3 times, drag their body, clean up blood, stage a knife, hide shell casings, lie for 2 years, and then play victim on the stand. Like, mobility didn't stop him from doing all that. So, like I said, miss everybody with the helpless act.
Yeah,
so whatever his lawyer thought he was doing with that wheelchair argument, nobody cared.
So by the time closing arguments came, the jury didn't need theatrics, right? They had tests proving motive, records proving a pattern, testimony proving T tried to get help, physical evidence proving the scene was staged, and a defendant who couldn't keep his own lies straight. On October 12, 2023, they came back with a verdict of guilty of second-degree murder after only 3 hours of deliberation. And on October 30th, 2023, David was sentenced to 40 years with 2 years suspended and 10 years probation. No, that ain't enough time, man. They're going to be tearing that. That's all you're going to be hearing. Claps. They're going to be clapping. Yep, they're going to be cheeks clapping. Finally, he was held accountable after nearly 2 years of walking, rolling free, clubbing, posting online, and pretending life was normal while T family waited for justice. I'm so glad they got justice, man. Oh my goodness.
I still don't think it's enough.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah, I would have been clowning, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but anyway, let me quit. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was, wasn't panic. This wasn't self-defense. This was a man who couldn't stand losing control, right? He escalated when a woman chose herself and who thought he would cling, lie, and manipulate his way out of consequences like he had before. T tried to lead. T tried to document. T tried to survive, and in the end, the system failed her until the jury finally did it. And that's the truth off the grill. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Accountability got to be held, man. She stayed around too long. I just throw that. And again, I'm not saying anything negative about the dead. I'm not making fun of her, but my personal opinion, she stayed too long.
She definitely did, and it was it was just sad, like that when she finally, decided to choose herself. That's when, you know what I'm saying, like he did what he did. But no, like I agree, she stayed too long. Say after that baby, that you would have came, baby, that would have been it. Say it's a lot of things. But yeah, I say that's us as women. We try. We give so many dang on chances where we don't need to. We give grace where it is not deserved so many times. And I'm I hate this for her. So of course, David files an appeal because why wouldn't he? Like this is have you listened to who we're talking about here? So, when you spent this whole case dodging accountability, lying with confidence, and benefiting from a system that kept giving you chances, you may as well roll the dice one more time, So he appeals on a few weak technical arguments. First, he claims the court messed by allowing an opinion testimony from one of the investigators. Then he argues the judge refused a jury instruction based on a Weathersby versus State. Like, sir, miss me with that too. He also complains that the court allowed testimony from a pathologist who he claims was, quote, merely parroted the opinion of the non-testifying pathologist who actually performed the autopsy. Basically, a whole lot of legal gymnastics to say, I shouldn't be here. And the court looked at that shit and it was like, yeah, no, denied. So in so many words, we don't give a damn. Sit your ass in jail right there. All right. Heavy on the six. Now, let's talk about the part that nobody likes to talk about, the money. Because death brings out the ugliest parts of the system. So after T was murdered, her mother, Elisa, and her sister, Shalonda, had filed a judgment against David, arguing that he was liable for T's wrongful death and they were entitled to any funds being held by the court. Makes sense because why should the man who killed her benefit financially from her death? Unfortunately, that was denied. Now, T did have a life insurance policy that was worth $150,000 and what actually paid out, I'm guessing after funeral expenses or however it goes, what was paid out was $100,298.81, and it was split 50. It was supposed to be split 50% David and then 50% Shalonda, her sister. And yes, the man convicted of killing her was trying to get this money, but insurance policies don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So then there was a disability policy and David was listed as 50% beneficiary, Shalonda was at 30, and then her mama Elisa was supposed to get 20. And her mother and sister felt rightfully they should receive all of the payouts since David was responsible for T's death, so they sued. But this is the part that's going to piss you off. They lost. And not because they were wrong or because David deserved it, but it was like a paperwork issue. Paperwork. A woman is murdered. The man responsible is convicted. And because of technicality, signature, and legal red tape, he can still technically financially benefit from her death. And that's not justice. That's the system doing what it does best, protecting the wrong people and re-traumatizing the victims' families. So while David sits in prison serving his sentence, T's family is left not only with grief, but with knowledge that the man who took her life can still profit from it. And that part, I ain't going to hold you. It just don't sit right with me.
Man, that was a crazy one, man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Look, bro. That nigga, that just proves, like, I ain't trying to be funny. Like, I heard somebody say before, like, you can get a nigga the world. It don't make a difference. If a nigga gonna be on some bullshit, he gonna be on some bullshit. And this is a prime example of that, man. Like, geez, like, horrible. All right. Well, that was the story of T and MC Hot Wheels.
Oh my God. So if you haven't noticed, there will be no more Love, Lies, and Alibis at the end of the episodes anymore. That will be moving to its own special little weekly segment, which will allow us to give you more, like, we'll be able to read more of your comments and we'll be able to go a little bit more in depth on those episodes. Look for those on their own little section and
on Tuesday, right?
Yes, on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And not to bog y'all down so much, the Snitch Files will be going from every week to every other week. So you'll still get some extra content, but we're just like restructuring it so it's not overwhelming. So just a few things before we go. If you haven't gotten the memo already, myself and Renee over at Melanin Mayhem, we are teaming up for a virtual live show, Ladies Night In, on February the 7th. The tickets are up on Eventbrite. So make sure you grab your tickets so you can come kick it with me and your favorite country girl. Like I said, this is a girls' night out. And we want to kick it with y'all on Galentines Day.
Man, that's gonna be epic. I ain't gonna lie. I'm jealous because you didn't have two collabs with Renee.
I know, like that's our Virgo thing. Secondly, like we said, if you're enjoying the episode, we would appreciate you leaving a 5-star review because it does help the show grow. We do appreciate y'all for sticking with us, and this is another year of Melanin Mysteries. Next month, the Cousin Confessions are coming. Like, we did a sneak peek the other day, and if you missed it, baby, I don't know what to tell you, because the Cousin Confessions are coming. Now, let me explain to you a little bit of what the Cousin Confessions are. So the Cousin Confessions will be a bi-weekly segment where we're not solving, we are sipping, we are spilling tea, and we're going to let y'all spill the tea. It can be your story, it can be your co-worker story, somebody's story, or something you just want to get off your chest. Now, the caveat is this is 100% anonymous. I have set it up to where when you enter your submission, like, you are not allowed to leave names, you can't leave your email, like, there's nothing tracing it back to you. Like, it is truly a safe space. So we are going to get messy, we are going to get down and dirty, and it's going to be so much fun. Some of the ones that we got the other day were wild. I was like, oh, y'all got some things to talk about. So I will put the submission form in the show notes. It is officially going to kick off on Valentine's Day, and it is going to be messy. Yes, we're being messy. So it is officially going to kick off on Valentine's Day. Now, mind you, I do have to let you know that if you want to participate in the Cousin Confessions, one, it is going to be subscription only, because this is not content that we are going to be able to put out for the masses. So you will have to subscribe so you can hear all the juice. And Willie had the idea to make it a live event. So if you are a subscriber, you will be able to kick it with us live when we do each episode. So you'll be able to kick it with us live in real time, and you'll get to hear the juice before everybody else does. And in addition to the Cousin Confessions being on subscription, you'll also get your episodes ad-free. They will also be available to you a day early, which you'll get your episode on Sunday instead of Monday. And we also plan to drop some bonus content. We have some interviews with some of the family members as well as some of the offenders coming up soon. So all of that will live over there. The Love, Lies, and Alibis panel, we're going to bring that back. So basically any extra content is going to live over behind the subscription. So that will be coming next month in February. We do have a couple more events coming up for the year. So I said, we just have a lot going on, and we hope that we will be able to see y'all soon. And yes, we do have some in-person events coming up. I think we have 2 scheduled for the year, but as the time gets closer and we get things more organized, we will be telling you about that. Do you have anything, Willie? I think that's really all I have for right now.
No, that's it. You go ahead and take us out.
All right, so just remember that love should not come with a life sentence, so make sure you choose freedom and not felonies.
We out.